Welcome to Junkyard Theory, folks. Tonight's tonight. It's not night. It's morning over here. We normally do our sessions at night, but it's night for you, Andy. Today's guest is none other than Andy Cheng. He is the fight coordinator on Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, but he's also been a stuntman for quite a while in Hong Kong, and he's done fight choreographing, fight coordinating on so many movies, ranging from Rush Hour 2, Daredevil, some uncredited work on The Amazing Spider-Man, and most recently on Six Underground as well. Andy, it's an honor to have you. Are you born?
Are you born?
and ni hao.
Ni hao, yeah. How are you? Thank
Good,
you
man.
having me
How are
here.
you?
I'm good. Thank you. Yeah, we'll have fun here.
Yeah. Andy, that particular bus fight in Shang-Chi was, I mean, that's what kind of gets you hooked onto the whole film. And it's not a wonder that they used so much of it in the promotional material, from the trailers to the TV spots. And you guys took, I think, over a year to get this, like, to properly pull this off, and it shows very well on screen. I want to talk about the bus fight scene, but I want to come to that a little bit later. I want to go back to your roots, where you
Okay.
come from, and tell me about your origin story. How did you get into filmmaking and martial arts? You are first and foremost a martial artist, and talk to me about that.
Yeah, I start from TV. Before I do movie, I work for the company called TVB. Yeah, so Hong Kong, one of the TV channel, the biggest channel. So I start from doing TV, and my background is a Taekwondo, Olympic style Taekwondo. So I represent Hong Kong. So I go 2 times Asian Game and 1 time World Game. So represent, and my last fight is in Taiwan, Chinese Taipei. I won a bronze medal, and that's done, no more. So after that, at the same time, I represent that my last time I go to represent Hong Kong. That moment, I just joined the company called TVB to start learning how to be a stuntman and actor. All different things. They have the class. I get into it, and so they train us as an actor, as a stuntman, as a stunt double, as a choreography. So you learn everything in 3 months. So we have 3 month training and then 3 month testing. So after 6 months, they sign the contract. Either they sign you or not. If you just got it, then you got 1 year contract. So I got picked, and then I start. That's how I start 1989, long time ago. So I start from there, and then I work for the TV company about 6 years, almost 7 years. Then I got one opportunity to go for work for Jackie Chan. So that moment it's 1996. He's in Australia. The movie called Mr. Nice Guy. So there's some good reason, they need me. So I'm lucky, so fortunate. They call me, and then they call me, and one day, the next after 1 day after, I find to sing me right away, because they already start the movie, and that moment Jackie have the neck, he hurt his neck, so that's why they need me. So that's kind of really bad for him and good for me. So I start from there, work with him, and that's how I start, and then I work for him. Soon as after that, I remember that moment. After 3 months or 4 months, when we're in the bonds in America, box office #1, and he tell us, "Oh, now I'm the, Hollywood, and then right after that, he got the script or something. He said, "Oh, I'm going to do Hollywood." So he asked me to go with him. I said, "Yeah, for sure. Why not?" So then from that, after that, Mr. Nice Guy would do the Who Am I, the movie called Who Am I in Africa, and then we go to Rush Hour. So that's how I start from Hong Kong, translate to US.
To Hollywood.
To Hollywood, yes.
Yeah. And Mr. Nice Guy, if I'm not mistaken, Richard Norton was playing the villain.
Yeah, Richard Norton is the
Yeah.
villain. Sammo Hung is the director.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Richard Norton was on the show sometime earlier this year, and he was talking about Mr. Nice Guy as well. So
Yeah, that's how we met. Yeah, he's cool, you know.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's been doing choreography now. Yeah, or Big Soul. Yeah, Big Soul
he's
doing choreography.
doing Suicide Squad. I
Yeah,
think he's working on the Mad Max movie next year as well. So
yes.
yeah, big stuff.
Mm-hmm. Big stuff. Yeah, now it's big time.
So are you? I mean, starting all the way back from Hong Kong, and now you're here working on a Marvel movie as well. So quite the journey, But again, before we come to Shang-Chi, talk to me a bit about being on Jackie Chan's stunt team. So you established that connection, and you were part of the stunt team for a long time. And I mean, Jackie has this unique style of filmmaking, doing stunts, everything. I think he's broken at every bone in his body at least once. And was that translated over to you guys as well? Did you have to go through the same torture while being on that stunt?
I think everyone, you know, if you do stunt or, you know, even you do acting, if you do action, I mean, here, there, you know, you get some boo and booking bone. It's just, you know, it's a very normal. But of course, not like him, you know, he's had even more. I'm lucky, you know. Well, it's small stuff, you know. Like I said, either you die or you're surviving. So, so between if it's only painful or some hurting, it's nothing. The story, you know. I think you know you make it. It's lucky, you know. For me, it's like very normal, you know. You dislocate the arm or you broken your ankle, or you know, shoulder bone. That all happening, you know. I mean, it's just like you play basketball, you broke your ankle easily. So nothing very surprising for me. I think it's you make it, you know. I think that's all well, all good. It's not a big deal. Yeah, the part of the you know the
part
career,
of the job. Yes.
part of the job. Yeah, if you do stunt, you say you never get hurt. That will be you can tell the story how good the stunt you can be. So it's like I said, but then you know it's a lot of you know different you know story you know here there, but not a big deal, you know. Like as long as you still survive, you know.
Yeah. So when it came to Shang-Chi, you guys started working like in pre-production, like well ahead in advance. Talk to me a little bit about the process. You know, how did that particular fight scene, the one on the bus, materialize? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, from the script. But then when it came over to you as the fight coordinator, what was your talk to me a bit about like what your job description was for that particular project? Like, how involved were you in the fight choreography? And the term fight coordinator, it's very specific. Enlighten me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I think my responsibility. I mean, like mostly when it depends on how big the stunt team, you know. And this one we're pretty good, you know. We have good size with the stunt team, so we can spread a little bit more. We have multiple action design, fight coordinator. But my specific job, you know, when I got this job with Brad, you know, my little brother, the mainly he asked me to work together to help him is because a lot of Chinese culture in it, so he want to make sure he's from Australia, you know, so he wanted me to help him that. And also the first thing we talk about is Shang-Chi, you know, and then we'll talk about how we can create Shang-Chi, have his own style, and you know. But then you know we both have from Jackie, you know, so very easy to think, oh, this will be. another Jackie Chan. So when we start, we try to avoid that. We say, okay, we make sure we not just stick on that Jackie style, and then we have to make sure have his own signature. So, and then also we have big part, the father side, we have Honga, and then we have the mother side, have Tai Chi. So I start, looking for teaching, the teacher and master, the teaching them, make sure they have the good foundation to do Honga or Tai Chi. So my job also looking for stunt double, all the people to how to train them. That's a very early stage, we start from very early. So we have to planning the training, so how we train their style, and then planning from looking for stunt double, and so find the right size, the people to doubling, each character. And then the process is way after we talk about how we're trying to create the whole Shang-Chi thing, and then so we're talking about maybe the one thing I told him, in all the Marvel, all the superhero, everyone have a weapon, either shield or the hammer or something. And Shang-Chi, before he got the Ten Ring, he had nothing, right? So, and he's more physical fighting, and because his character is a kung fu, master of kung fu, so we will make sure he have every kung fu style he can understand. That's why I call master kung fu. And one thing we want to do is the kicking. First of all, I come from big kicking, Taekwondo, and because the idea of Shang-Chi, is influenced by Bruce Lee, right? So then also kicking. So and then also all the Marvel, they don't have any specific superhero is aimed for the kicking. They mostly with weapon or hand or superpower. So we think about maybe kicking is to fit, and just fit the character. And then luckily, Simo is Taekwondo. So Simo have some kicking, he have some trickings, acrobatic stuff he can do. So it's everything like fall into the right place. So then we start from there to create the Shang-Chi style. And the first mission I had, the first scene, beside all I need to, searching to the right people and double and, organize all those things. Then my first mission, the scene is the bus scene. So the bus scene, so we rehearsal in Los Angeles first, and then we know, we have script, we have some idea from the director, and then we start, created the structure. So I remember how we start thinking, how he's going to take the next village, how he start, get the fight, and then how end up Razorfish cut the bus in half, how he get him out, and then what he get out, how he get up to the top, and then how he come back. So this whole sequence we create in Los Angeles. So the structure, I would say, it pretty much is stay where we plan from very beginning. But inside, they have a lot of changing. Inside, what move, what punch, what jacket. So those is many versions, many versions. 20 versions at least, even more maybe. Too many versions we can't even remember. We take this, we punch him, don't punch him, fight first, don't fight first, later fight. There was a lot of different. But the structure is pretty much what you see.
It stayed the same.
Yeah, stay the same, like close 90%.
Right. So
how he outside the window, grab the hand, how Katie see him, help him go out, how he went to the top, slide, come back, open the door, pretty much right on that. So that's good thing. The whole thing we say we have many versions, but it's only tighten and get more specific, but not really like a change. It's just improved it, get something more interesting. This punch is more interesting. So this much how we doing that, and then we have multiple like I said, action design, Young, Chris, Joseph, with Dan, so they all involved, Pang and G, everyone put something, someone, oh, maybe this, and then let the boss pick in. Oh, we like this punch. Then end up with using the first punch slow motion. So it's all every contribute a little bit, even like the in charge of the whole thing, but we all help each other, so kind of very interesting process, and that's why the whole sequence it take a year to finish it. So and lucky, I say like everything, like I said, they picking this specific spot, a little punch, a little kick, little jacket, and everything come out. I turn out to everyone really enjoy it, and yeah, everyone saying, oh, this is good opening, it's big sequence, like 5-6 minute with dialogue, just full on 5 minute action is long sequence
Yeah.
with all the bus crash outside, inside. Yeah.
So the main story beats kind of stayed the same, but it was the more intricate details that kind of changed with time, right? Like from the pre-visualization stage, like Inside released this video yesterday. We were talking about this a little while ago. Like when you mentioned he was pinning Florian, the Razor Fist's character, with like a sidekick, and then that changed into
to the
one
upside
leg on the
down
ceiling. Yeah, the upside
and the
down
chair.
moment. Yeah. So it's
So
like
that
those.
is
Yeah.
that one is doing that changing is like the whole thing is a sidekick we stick on to, almost like when this come up, this idea is a last minute thing, is when we do the final walkthrough with the camera. So we're ready to shoot. So and then we do the final walkthrough. Where's the camera? How? So we explain to the people where we want to put the camera, when we take the chair, inside the chair out, or maybe this pull out because the camera here. So we do the final walkthrough every single move with the thing, and that moment, Dustin, the director, come up with, the whole time I feel when he do a sidekick and push him, so he don't feel. He say I still have a little bit concern, he's a big guy. So then that happening when we do the final walkthrough, and I say, okay, then okay, how about we come up, then I right away come up this idea, and then everyone like it, and then now much better, I believe that. So that's the whole process until that moment. It's like very last minute thing to changing.
Yeah. Like every single move kind of tells you more about the character or serves the story, and that's like the most beautiful part. Like in that particular bus fight scene, and like you said, Shang-Chi's character was based on Bruce Lee, so I guess that opener, the punch. So you had the 1 inch punch, and this was more of a 6 inch punch, but
yes,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice bit of homage to Bruce Lee. And then, of course, you had the Jackie Chan moment with the jacket and then the elbow to the knee, all that stuff. So that was like brilliant. In terms of influence, like what movies did you guys like go back and watch and decide like, all right, we could probably borrow, stuff from this. It kind of has to feel like this at tonally at some points. Were there any movies that you guys, referred back to?
I mean, I haven't checking with them. Everyone will have some idea. Yeah, we're watching a lot of different things. But for me to remember recording which one, I can't remember. I don't even remember even the jacket from Jackie, and then later on when they pulled it out, because I remember we did the one with the jacket is a different movie from him, and then we take the whole jacket off and then he put it back. So this one is more like the Rumble in the Brown stuff, but I cannot even recall that is one of the reference from earlier. And then also there's some Donnie Yen stuff, it's many different movies, but mostly we're watching it. It's not like, oh, let's do this move and this move. We're watching and then, okay, it's the similar situation or some kind of form and hand and punching and kick. But by going using the reference, for me it's not the usual, so I don't recording like, this come from which one. I try to normally I just try to create over there and the happening, and then also like even you when you mentioned this is like a 6 inch punch from Bruce Lee, I can't even recall that is, but yes, now you say it, yes, right. It's similar, but with I don't remember anyone like there to create a thing. Hey, this is the how much in this one. This is the I cannot record
I
that. I
think
just
when you
remember.
spend so much time working on a project, you become so immersed in it, like you tend to forget like where the inspiration and everything came from.
Because I think we have so many. Every time we go for the one version, and then Brad Allen, my brother will say, "Hey, how about try this?" And then here we have something. Oh, how about see this? How about this kind of move? How about this kind of jacket? But this is like this kind of move is like not this. It's like this kind of idea, this kind of cake, this kind of. So we just right after then, and well, okay, let's throw it away and let's do something new. Let's throw away, do something new. So yeah, it's like it's too many versions. I can even remember who even come up the idea.
Uh, you guys, when you worked in Hong Kong, it was
Mhm.
mostly like Richard Norton himself was talking about this. Like you go on set and then kind of figure out like what are you gonna do today? Like it's mostly based on like what the performers can pull off, and like it's more
Mhm.
instantaneous. Whereas in Hollywood, uh, it's based more on pre-production and like proper planning and everything. So coming from a background where everything's like more spontaneous, and then you come to a place where you had to figure out like so many things in pre-production itself. How was that transition like?
Um, for me, it's fine, because it's good. I go from both sides. I start from that side. I learn, the Hong Kong style. We go on set. We create everything right there. No prepping, no prep time, no rehearsal time. You know, whatever you come up, is happening, and then you would, or the boss or the director or Jackie would say, okay, I want to do this. Can we do it? Yeah. Mostly you only will say yes. You don't hear say no. So everything yes. Can we do this? Yes. So that's kind of thing when we do in the Hong Kong style, and yeah, in Hollywood, when I come to here this side, a lot of thing is a lot of uh, preparing, a lot of pre-production, rehearsal, training after, everything. The procedure is really much more detailed and small step, to get in there, and it's a good sign. I mean, if you have this kind of production and time, of course, you have better preparing, and then you get more. So it won't surprise you on set. Maybe it doesn't work this way, doesn't work that way. But no matter how you're preparing, there's always something doesn't work this way, doesn't work that way. Change a little angle, change a little performing, change small stuff, and then your train reaction. Oh, something had to fall apart and try to change it. So even that, it still have a little, you know, uh, like Hong Kong. You have to quick enough to adjust it, or
Yeah.
or fix it, or changing it. So for me, it's easier because that's what my background. So it's easier when someone say, oh, let's just like I say the upside down thing, saying when a director saying, oh, maybe, then you right away try to come up with idea, and then hopefully it's a good one. So then work, right? So but then that is for me. I don't feel so badly, because I think because I have that background, so it's easier to transfer to this side, because I feel more like in this side is much easier, because there's less the pressure, because the pressure you happening right there. You have to make the day. You have to get the decision. So you have to have that guts and ball and idea, and everyone had to be agree. So like this. So it's much more pressure. Sometimes you maybe cannot come up something. Then even you earlier when you say what's a reference, you cannot be just like, okay, let me find the reference. But you cannot. How you can right away. So it's not like the prepping time when you prep, you have time. Okay, like you can do some research and find something and reference. The Hong Kong style, you don't have it. It's just
No,
happening.
it's all on the fly.
They go in the
That's
fly,
happening.
and then that kind of good, when you have that skill. Just like you go sparring, you walk in.
Exactly.
You don't need to learn thinking about should I shoot sidekick first or should one house?
Yeah.
When the person comes, you react, and you have that. That's how good that's idea. But then another one is very staging, right? I'm gonna kick sidekick, and you're gonna block, and then you're gonna give me the roundhouse kick. So then you feel like like a theater.
You don't have time to think too much. You have to be
Yeah, you have
like
to
Bruce
be
Lee
just
said.
like Bruce
Yeah.
Lee.
Yeah.
If no plan is the plan.
Exactly.
Low style is the style. So I think, yeah, it's good question for me. I think because like I have both, so it's not going to be surprising, and used to it. So I think kind of make the thing fun. Sometimes I did in another interview. I talk about like I like the organic thing, um, because I feel when it's kind of like a joke, sometimes you're happening there, they were laughing so hard. But when you have a joke planning and talking and 100 times, and when you go do it, it's not going to be fun, it's not fun anymore. Or something, people already expect that. So I think sometimes you lose the excitement to just happening, then it's going to be even better because you don't expect that. So kind of like play both, but I still prefer 51% on that, 49% on the prep time. So 51, I think that 1% beat them is because it give everyone more excitement, more chill. And
Yes.
like, wow, this is even when you do it before you editing and before everything. Sometimes people don't even know what you're doing, but then when they see the final, whoa, wow, that's right. Another one people already see because you cut the whole sequence, you cut the whole thing. You have 10 music, 10 sound, you have the whole sequence. So when you finish the real product, the only thing different is the set may be better, maybe the wardrobe is a continuity and thing. But then you already know what you're going to see. So kind of like lost that. Yeah. So with the battle, the Hong Kong style against the Hollywood. So we're 51, 49, 1%.
1%. And there's also the risk of the previous sometimes having more elements, more amazing elements than the final product. Because like when you do the previous, you do this with stunt people who can actually perform and like fight, and then you come to the final version. Like the actor has to take part as well, and then you have time and budget constraints, and you probably don't end up pulling off everything that you had in the previous sequence. And some previous sequences, like from other films that I've seen, like the previous is like so much better than what ends up in the final movie.
So yeah, if you can't think of even behind the scene and how to make it easier, of course the previous is easier because they're all stunt people. Other side is more actor, involved. So yeah, so if you even count the behind the scene, then will be a 52-48. So 2%.
There we go.
Yeah.
Andy, about the bus sequence again, you guys had two separate rigs, one which was swinging like I think around 45 degrees, and then the other one with a wider range of motion. So talk to me a little bit about shooting on both of these two separate rigs. This was in a soundstage, I think, in Australia, whereas like the exterior shots were done in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And making it all look like it was like one seamless sequence happening in the same place. Working with technology as it evolves and like integrating martial arts fight sequences into something like this, that particular process, like it's evolving, it's newer every day. Talk to me about that.
So then this one will be the Hollywood side will win 52-48 to the Hong Kong side. Because this side, if you're going to the high tech part, this side will be better. First of all, the budget, we create two buses, right? So one is like the lower platform, like 1 meter high, and then one is like 5 meter high. So the lower one is a more like normal driving. So the bus just like this, very simple, small movement pattern and that kind of thing. Another one higher one, the higher ones will be like this, bending, looping, twisting. So they're all tipping sideways. So the high one is do a big stunt, and then the lower one is doing the part when we more like a normal driving and reaction. So it's doing this part is a good thing is, like you say, even the simultaneous will, I remember when we were shooting one of the scene, that moment, the San Francisco unit, they're shooting outside, crash the bus and everything, but they're streaming, so you can, the director totally doesn't totally see what they're doing on outside, simultaneous, because the time zoom and anything, so you can see it. So that is a really like the technology making this kind of filmmaking is easier, because we're doing interior and then we're doing the stage and then the exterior, but you can tell them the continuity, you can see how they happening other side, and this side can do the adjustment. So I think that's a good stuff, have the good technology right now can help the production.
It's a good balance.
It's a really good, even the good balance, and then like I say, it's much easier. Like before, won't be surprised. Oh, the bus is turning the wrong way. When you turn left, turn right. So maybe you totally like come. Oh, you need to fob the frame. Sometimes they turn into the wrong. So this is a totally you can see in the thing and married to it. So I think a very good this high tech thing, and I can like I said, I learned a lot and cool. And then we're doing the blue screen, in the bus, in the blue screen and the staging. So if this original long time, I did a bus fight too. We did everything practical. No one will think about put the bus inside the blue screen. So this production can wow, and then think about how the bus turn like crazy. And they put in a gimbal, make a two big bus, like a roller coaster. It's only this kind of production can afford that, and then you need a lot of rehearsal time to do the action with the wheel bus twisting like this, and a lot of stuff. Not the camera trick, is real movement. So even Simo or the passenger or waiter feeds, when they do this thing, constantly like this, you have to how to find a balance, and then also you need to do fight. And then inside those passengers, they're not a stunt people. They just regular actor. Some is senior. The lady sitting in the back. It's like 70 years old. So we have to make sure safety, and so there's a lot of safety concern too. We, the coordinator, the stunt rigger, everyone do a lot of safety, and then the set dressing and then production have to make all the rubber. So it's a lot of department. It's like a big deal. One movement, you take one chair out, it's like 15-20 minutes. So it's a bigger deal. So in this case, Hollywood beat Hong Kong. Because Hong Kong would say, forget it, don't worry, just crest it and just skip this, or something, or changing angle. Maybe this is you have to have some kind of the scale to make this happening. So it's lucky, this scene is it's amazing, like turn out everyone really exciting and like it. I think this is kind of interesting process.
How long did it take you guys to complete that particular scene, the bus fight scene?
The bus fight scene, I mean, like if from the prepping to finish, I remember the last scene we shoot the thing is like just a really over 1 year. But the shooting schedule is
production?
like yeah, from the pre-production to finish when we're shooting the bus, the end when the bus turns sideways and then Simo save the girl, fall out the window, stop, and then I remember second unit we shoot at the end when the bus booking two piece and stop, everyone looking, the big wide shot. That shot that is over 1 year and 1 month, I remember, because we start from Los Angeles October, I think, like October, and then when we finish it next year November.
So the pandemic was also affecting the production.
And then we have 3 months off in the pandemic, then we come back, but then like I said, the whole process is really long, over the year. And then in terms of shooting schedule, it's like I think altogether, I think 6 weeks, and then another another week in San Francisco. Yeah, it's like 6-7 weeks at least with 2 units. It's a lot of.
That's a lot of time. I mean, in Hong Kong, you guys probably would have done this in like a week at most.
Yeah, a few days and then 3 days and finish the whole scene. But yeah, it's different. It's like I think there's a lot of safety on it. This is for sure. And also you move to people. You have a really good plan on the lower part, and then you go to a higher bus, so that everything moving. So we have to very clear what we do here when we do that, and then you need to prepping the bus when this now is cut open. Oh, this is haven't open. So everything you think you have to shoot the bus not open yet, and then to open it, and then the window off or window don't off. It's like a lot of continuity. When you go up there, not broken yet. Not broken. When you broken, then up there it's much more safe, because it's too high. So it's kind of like a big deal to do it right and safety.
Yeah. You've also worked on 6 Underground, and being on a Michael Bay film set is, they call it Bayhem, because it's pretty much and it's like it's very chaotic. Is it in any way similar to Hong Kong, or else like how much does that differ from? I mean, his style is pretty dynamic, and again, although it's Hollywood, he has something unique in like how he shoots action. So talk to me a bit about that.
He is a very unique director, as an action director, as a director. I have really good experience with him. I learned a lot as a director, because he pretty much like Hong Kong style. You have prepping time, but the prepping for him isn't. You guys prep, but he has something he come in and shoot. It's not the prep. You can prep whatever you want. He could shoot something he want. So, but in the way he know exactly what he need, and he know when you prep. I remember when I do the whole many different number, different fight scene. I show him everything. We have previous editing, have everything. He saw it. Oh, I like it. Done. Or oh, I don't like this. I like this. And when he finished, done. But then he not watching it. He totally improv by himself. He's doing something, but he know what you have, and then this move I will keep this, and he start connected by himself, and then he just shoot it, and then he know exactly how to present it, and come out. I think wow, better than what I'm thinking, and better than I think. Oh, I do maybe won't be with his one, because sometimes he have the technology with him, so he will this. I don't need this gun, or I don't need this guy for. Just do this, and then he create the whole falling with digital. So it's something. It's only if he see it. So I think I kind of learn a lot as a director. He have a lot of in control his vision. So it's look like he's a really chaos, and the way he talk, and people feel he's very mean. But I think it's just very hard to when you don't understand, then he very hard to explain to everyone. So many people, so many department head. If we just explain it, you cannot shoot the movie. You gotta be 3 times the time to do it because how to. So he more white on it, just follow his order, and he will deliver it. So I kind of like it. I mean, by some reason, I still feel the yelling part is acceptable. For some reason, to see it as a good, vision and action, and then the set is much more tension and more intense, but more energy. Instead, everyone kind of like very chill. You don't chill. You
That's what we're thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of enjoy. I don't know. Maybe I've been in here too long, and then suddenly I get into him, and wow, this few months I think so much fun. I'm from Italy. I suppose he do the part only from Italy, and then he bring me to Abu Dhabi and everywhere. And yeah, he's amazing. I go 4 weeks, become 4 months. So how come I don't love him? I had to love him. So it's cool. I think he has something. Very special, very very cool.
Very special. Like, and say what you will about the stories and like the storytelling in his movies. Like, he knows what he's doing with the action. Definitely.
Exactly. I mean, he knows exactly what he can deliver, and then also, I mean, like everything in his head. So only thing is that if you want him to do like other, so then you need to give him more time, to explain to everyone. But then the budget will go even higher. He's already big budget, but he shoot fast already. If he shoot like a rock, the movie you see, 600 pounds is 150 million, I think. If you want to do more the procedure like that, I think that movie is gonna be 250 million. So
Yeah.
so that's that you can just follow him, just trust him, and then I think it's not too bad, right? You like it, right?
I loved it. I enjoyed it. Like, I'm very
Yeah,
excited to see Ambulance because the trailer looked really, really interesting.
yeah. He
Yeah.
has something. He's very amazing.
Yeah. Andy, about your martial arts background and how that has helped you as a filmmaker. Talk to me a bit about that. So, I mean, you have discipline, which comes in first and foremost, despite like
Mm-hmm.
whatever style you train in, and that I'm pretty sure most people have like Richard said the same thing, and the martial artists who are also filmmakers I've spoken to, they call the same thoughts about how discipline and it gets translated over to uh, any other walk of life. So, talk to me a bit about like how martial arts have helped you.
I think the helping is when I do martial art, when I do compete taekwondo. I think the helping is that they have no money. That's so stupid. You do for a piece of thing when went out in my house, like many those metal and trophy, and just put in the side and the audacity, but you train so hard for it, and then when you do movie using martial art, it's much easier. There's a lot of money. I got a house. I got something. So you can see that already from the martial art side give me that power, because every time you think about what I did with the martial art side, this is much easier and much more makes sense. The other one doesn't even make sense. But that make your kind of like the discipline, or you can be tough and never give up, because those for is really a passion, it's a passion, and then you're trying to concrete something, or you're trying to prove to someone you are the champion, you are something special, or you are good with what you're doing with the sport, right? This is something you want to honor, you want to think something to prove by winning, right? The competition, to prove that you are the winner, you are the best. So that's all you have. There's nothing real. It's all it's you're a master. So but that's the only thing. when I start doing movie, so movie is, same. It's not easy, when you do stunt or something, you hurt, you take risks, you could kill yourself,
But at
and
the end of the day, everyone
but the
wins.
end, you make something, it's a real. But then also, beside that, now I'm joking with that, but I'm saying every time when I do something crazy, I will be thinking, go back to, I would do that for nothing. Now I'm doing something, even bigger, even say the trophy, oh, I got to win the stunt award, or eventually, oh, I'm going to, I'm trying to get Oscar, right? Those is even bigger trophy than the Taekwondo or whatever championship. If you want to be more people knowing, right? That's maybe only Taekwondo people will seeing that. But if you get a stunt award, maybe the whole world stuntmen see it, right? But the whole world, not everyone learn Taekwondo, they don't care what you get. And then when you say filmmaking, well, you got Oscar, the whole world, every entertainment people will know. So it's a much bigger, just even from the trophy or the award. But then, of course, you also make for a living, right? So using this is almost like I can do that with nothing. I can do this even better and then even more because I can see the result is even more bigger. So that sometimes it's not just a tough part. I think a lot of people, maybe you ask all the martial art people, they say, "Oh, this just made me so tough. I can take the heat. I can take no pain. you know." But that's only in the downside. Like how tough you with the training, discipline, and blah blah blah. But I think if you're using that into the movie, it could be a same discipline, same, no pain, no gain. But maybe for me, it's a career, movie, you know, filmmaking. I even get deeper, what I'm saying? I can even go more than what I had before. Because before, like I said, to compare this I think even I see the goal and the honor or the proof even bigger. So I think learn martial art is good to give you the very rough beginning, but that beginning give you a really solid foundation because even that nothing there you have that foundation. And now here is everything is gold, everything is something even bigger. That help because you have that foundation. So I think this is the for me I see martial art really help any kind of business, not just filmmaking, because the martial art just like that is nothing there, but the people with crazy practicing and proving and improvement and dedicate on it for nothing, for honor, for discipline, for the bell, like bad bell and whatever, you're chasing something. But that's all not the material side, not the logic, realities, living life side. So, but then that's a good base. Well, you have that like that's I feel I can do in this side when I'm doing entertainment. I go on everything. Oh, this is gonna kill you. Yeah, I die, but I die. I got money. I got killed from the martial art. I got nothing. And this one, if I do the standard four, and then the studio will pay much more money, and my name go forever. I die, I want to die on the set. I don't want to die on this, stupid competition.
Don't want to die on the mat. You'd
I know,
rather die on a set.
I mean, like I'm not, disagree. I'm not saying martial arts not, but really, if you transform, when you're young, yes, definitely. When the right age and they should start. I think kids should start learn some kind of discipline, martial art or sport or anything to learn the discipline and not learn to focus and learn never give up, to give them the competition, to make them more
It gives you a
competitive.
very good foundation with the right set of values, which can in turn, get translated and hopefully help with the materialistic side of things later on.
Definitely, I can see that. I can see that from myself.
For
I
yourself,
see
yeah.
that, because like I
Brilliant.
always say, thinking, oh, I can do that crazy. I don't. I have like when I find I have like good 2-3 years. I don't eat normal like human being. Like I try to diet. Right, I have no food. One day, 6 cracker. So 2 cracker, morning, lunch, dinner, and then drinks from 10 o'clock to midnight. When I do stunt, because I'm fighting for Hong Kong, but then I'm training at the TVB. So I start from 10 o'clock. I'm running down to the station, the bus station, 1 hour every day, and then I go
Wow.
train from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then I go 6 o'clock. I take 1 hour bus to another location to start Taekwondo team, the Hong Kong Taekwondo team, training from 7 to 10 o'clock. Then I go home 1 hour drive at bus, and then go home one more hour to midnight, training like this 6 cracker a day, because I down to 123 pounds. I stop. I supposed to go 118, so I have 5 more pounds to lose it. I cannot get anything. That 5 pounds take me a year. Still that 5 pounds. I have to like eat pills and dry and horrible life. I mean, I almost kill myself to try to lose weight when that
I hear you.
nothing. I mean, that's why I say doing movie is much easier. Much easier. I can, when I competition, I mean that last two year, I try to win the bronze medal. Yes, I almost like I said, I just kill myself to try to get that done, and I get that done. Wow, that's the big release. I tell you the story when I compete. I went to Korea when I do the World Game. I have to diet to 118 pounds, right? At the moment, I in Korea is 122 pounds or 20 pounds. So like 3-4 pounds. And then next early morning, I have the whole week not even try to eat, just drink. And then when I down to 118 pounds that morning, I go to check. We are like 5 o'clock tracking weight training. If you pass the weight, then you after we have 5 to 6 o'clock at the early morning, and then the fight start 8 o'clock to all day 6 o'clock. Sorry, 8 o'clock to the final. So whatever match you have, 4 match or 5 match, doesn't matter. But 5 o'clock you go to check your weight. If you fail, you disqualify. So I had to make the weight, right? So I remember that morning. I tell you the story. It's crazy. At that morning, I go. I finally lose. I eat pill and whatever. Many things I eat the pill is get shit done. Like diarrhea or whatever. Everything to try to get that's 3-4 pounds out. So at the morning I go is 116 pounds. So 2 pounds below. Take off every clothes. Just the little underwear. Okay, 116. Oh, pass it, right? It's very good, right? So after you checking, then you can go eat. So you can start eating, because after that, they don't care. So I remember, so 5 o'clock check, 116 pounds. So I remember I go eat, and at that moment, everything is delicious. Doesn't matter. Even shit is delicious. Right? So eat, and then I fight, and then I lost it, right? By the way, I lost my first game. I lost by 1 point to Jordan. End up Jordan. He won silver medal. So I went into the best one. So I lost it in my first match. But then I remember I went back to the hotel. We finished the whole fight. Finished the hotel at 10 o'clock at the end. I go back and we said the weight. I go to check my weight, and I go back 132 pounds.
What?
So in that whole day, I have 16 pounds back.
That is crazy.
How much I eat?
Damn.
From 116 to night time, I'm 132 pounds. So that's how crazy that it's been. Like 2 years.
That's a very
never passed.
cruel lifestyle, right? It's a very cruel and hard lifestyle.
Yeah, that moment. And then the next year I do another year like that, and then I finally in Taiwan, Chinese Taipei, I won the bronze medal. Same thing, I had to diet to 118 again. So you think a 2 year in the world, right? But my world normal weight like 140, and I had to diet all the way down to. It's so difficult. But then it's like I say after that.
So couldn't you fight in like a higher weight class?
I no, my first 3 year represent my first year I fight
okay.
128. Right. So there's a 128 or 118 or 140. So when I win Hong Kong, I won 140. Then I go to international game, so I down to 128. So I already done one. But then when my first one, I go to Nepal and do my first Asian game, I down to 128 to do that. My first fight, I got locked out.
Happens.
Oh, so sad. That's the storytelling too. 4 people represent Hong Kong. So 3 boys, 1 girl. Hong Kong never sent that many people for international because no money. So we had to buy. I remember I had to buy They paid government paid the ticket for the fight. I had to buy the uniform, the shirt or something. Yeah. We had to pay their own money to look like a team. So we had to pay their own money. So that's how the 4 people, 3 boys, one lady. So I got locked out. Other 3, 1 boy won the silver medal. 1 won the bronze medal. The girl won the bronze medal. Only me lost. Oh my God, my coach. Every single bad word you can imagine, he said it. and he told me, without you, I'm 100% medal. You make me 75%. You a piece of shit. You blah blah blah, and F word and ma word, you ma, you sa, you, and say you will never represent Hong Kong again. I said, oh my God. So then, wow, I say I'm sorry. Tear down and saying it's my fault. I will do better. No, even next time you pay your own money, I won't let you represent Hong Kong. I thought he destroyed me. He said, no more. So I remember back to Hong Kong. I start training so hard. And then that will go to the World Game into Korea. That's why I say, okay, I drop another weight. Done one more.
Okay.
I will get more chance. And then, I still thinking he won't pick me. But then end up, I fight with our team captain. And I won the team, kind of warning, like the whole team, the best fighter. And then he give me one more chance. But then we all fell in the World Game. So then I have to keep the weight one more time. I told myself I have to win the bronze medal. 1 bronze medal in the international game, I go quit. I never asked for silver and gold. I know bronze medal is a maximum. So I say, and end up I got that. So that is the story, For me, the martial art it's crazy. It's so difficult. So difficult.
You mentioned awards as well. So what are your thoughts on, the lack of recognition for stunts at the Oscars mostly?
One more time?
The lack of recognition for stuntmen at the Oscars. I mean, you award like sound design, cinematography, all of that, but not to the people who risk their lives to make like the awesome stuff. So, yeah.
It kind of sad, to never have the category for them, like don't have any recognition from them yet. I think because sometimes it have to be. It's not like a one person thing, when you do stunt with many people. So maybe they cannot like aim on one person. Who should get it? Or the whole car chase and everyone get one. Or so I think that maybe somehow, or should be given to the coordinator, or give to the action director. But then also then they would say, so what does the stunt guy do that? So why he got it? So it's I think there's for sure have so many issue and that many, but I think the stunt community people, they still fight for it. They still try, and then hope one day maybe they come up with a solution to get someone recognized. But they're also lucky we have a Webu, very nice in supporting this stunt award, the Torch Award. So that kind of cool to at least it's the one page for the stunt people. But then of course, then people will think about Oscar. But then, also right now they're gonna have more this kind of award for stunt people. Jackie Chan have in China the action read. So that could be for the action people can think, oh, maybe win the Jackie Chan award.
You were the first recipient of the Bruce Lee award. Talk to me about that.
And then now the Bruce Lee award. So there was something for martial art people now getting more work. I like the Bruce Lee award is come from nowhere. Like like last month, when they contact me and say, like October when they contact me, and I thought they asked me to go appear in the film festival, but they say, oh, you got the award. What? And then they tell me about the Bruce Lee Foundation, Bruce Lee daughter Shalini, and then the Asian World Film Festival, and they come up with this award for the most like martial art people influence or achievement for movie with the martial art thing. So it's like kind of like action thing. So I don't know how lucky so many people out there so talented and and I don't know how to come to me. But then it's just when I got that, I feel wow, they're very very cool. Like Bruce Lee almost past 50 years. In 50 years, never nobody think about that, and suddenly they come up with this, and then they come to me. So I think it's super lucky and fortune and honor. But then at the same time, I think that's something good. Right now they have this start. So from now on, as a martial art studio or filmmaker or martial art with the filmmaking like stunt people or action people, everyone can try. It's not say it had to be Asian. It could be anyone with action martial art movie. So that give the martial art movie have one more platform, one more stage to get the honor, get the proof, or get the recognized it. So I think that Bruce Lee award, or like I say, Jackie Chan action read award, or Torch award, those pretty good. I think this I mean, like they're getting better and better. Have more platform, more award film festival to give stunt or martial art people
Recognition is increasing essentially.
Yeah, so that's increasing, and then hopefully, and coming soon, and then Oscar maybe. So I think it's always I see the improvement from where I start 30-some years ago, right till now is everything getting better. The safety getting better because right now the technology getting better. Stuntman doesn't need to take so much risk, in a way, it's much more easy than go back to what we have, and even back, 40 years ago, those stunt guys, amazing. Right now, it's still amazing, but different kind of amazing, and much more safe, much more money, much more recognizing. So it's all balancing and improvement. Like I think getting to be a martial artist, be a stuntman, be a filmmaker with the action, and getting bigger and bigger and better and better. Like Black Panther, Shang-Chi, and like we'll recognize more chance.
I think none of this would have been possible if Bruce Lee didn't popularize martial arts back in the early 70s. So, I mean, he essentially paved the way for mainstream cinema to recognize martial arts. And then Jackie Chan took the baton and ran with it for a long time. He's still running with it, and then you guys
Yeah,
are
he's still
running with
running
it.
it.
Now it's like diversified, and like, I mean, his legacy pretty much lives on, right?
That's right. I mean, that's the whole thing, you know. Now I feel like, I don't know, you see my post, you know, when I start doing stunt, you know, of course, you know, Jackie is the influence, and, you know, I never know I can make movie until I see Police Story. I mean, you heard the story. I watching Police Story. He running down to the hill, and that's my backyard. You know, when I live in the hill, so I say, oh, I can do that. So that's how I get the idea to try to make movie. But then also, so then and you know, I work for him, right? And then I with him. So I feel, wow, this is one of the, you know, action hero I with, and I work for him. And then I his son team, you know, and he saved my life. He give me my little reborn. He give me everything. He give me this, you know, house, and give me this recognition. You know, give me to Hollywood, like from Hong Kong to America. So everything come from him. But then also I have another action hero idol like you wearing that, you know, Bruce Lee, because it's funny when I got the Bruce Lee wall, and then I start record everything and telling them I have connection from long time ago when I remember when I 7 years old. I think it's seven or 6, 7 years old when he did uh Fist
Into the Dragon,
Fist of
Fist of
Fury.
Fury.
No, Fist of Fury.
Yeah.
Fist of Fury is my lifetime first movie. My father take me go to see the midnight show. In Hong Kong, when the new movie, they always doing the Wednesday night midnight show, like a surprising show.
He took you to see
This
that when you were 7 years old. That's not a kid's movie.
Yeah, no, but that because my father and my mother, we go. My father holding me on the nap. I remember. I don't remember the movie. I remember he hold me on the nap. We sit the way back, the best seat, the last line in the theater, fully packed, right? And then watching the movie, fighting. I don't know what, but I only remember the last one. Only one picture I remember, and then when if you remember the movie. Fist and Fury at the end when Bruce Lee say, "Hey, I never study, and tell me if I go out, everyone will be safe." And then he do the jump side kick, he jump in the air and then feast, right? Remember that? It's the only whole movie I remember. I don't know the movie. I only remember he jumped and whoop, and then they feast him, and then you hear a sound effect, bang, 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 right? And I remember I asked my father, they not kill him, right? They missed it because he's a hero. So that's what I remember. Only one picture is he jumped and the jump side kick and freeze in mid-air. I remember the bang, 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 bang. And I say, oh, I know he's a hero. I said, don't kill him. He's good, you know, like that thing. That picture is still like in my head. That's how I first time see Bruce Lee and first time see movie. So, but then when I grow up, you know, he passed away right after next year. So he passed away. So I've never had a chance to, you know, have a connection with him until last month when they give me this. Now I feel I have a little connection with him, right? With Bruce Lee Award, and so that's why I'm posting it. I have, you know, this, and then with Jackie. I don't know where I can go now beside the Oscar.
Well, there you go. That's the dream now.
Right? You think if you think that where you can go, you know, as the you know martial artist and filmmaking, you know, you work with the two biggest thing, you know. I don't know, you know, where can be any more achievement, you know. I even work with Burt Reynolds, you know, when I direct Burt Reynolds, Cannonball One, Burt Reynolds and Jackie Chan. I used to remember, wow, that's so
Yeah.
cool, the movie, you know, Cannonball One, and I'm directing Burt Reynolds at my movie. I said, wow, I'm a director with Burt Reynolds. Yes, you know, when I
Crazy.
a kid
Yeah.
look at his movie, and
And
suddenly
then you
become
end up
director,
directing
right?
him.
Just like I don't know. Something sometimes you life is so beautiful. Right? You don't know where you're going, but is is one of the crazy journey. Just like this Bruce Lee award. He passed. Imagine this. He passed 50 years. Why? Then not 20 years ago they think about Bruce Lee award. 10 years ago or 15 years, then they will never go to me. Never. Did they wait for me? Why? Why wait for Shang-Chi? Maybe Shang-Chi. That's why they give to me. Right,
Who
so
knows?
and
But
how crazy that, right? 50 years
it's
he
amazing.
passed.
Yeah.
Why he passed so many years? His
It's
daughter
almost,
from
yeah, almost 50. It's, I think,
40,
48,
yeah,
40,
it's
48.
73,
Yeah.
1973. So
73.
it's
Yeah.
48,
73.
49 years.
Yeah.
So in this long period, if he come up with this award earlier, gotta be somebody when
Mm.
right till this moment, and the same time when they create that, it's the moment they release Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
right? So
A
it's like
character
all
that was influenced by Bruce Lee. So
yeah. So
it
it's
makes
all
sense.
kind of like connected, right? It's meant to be, and that's why for me it's just meant to be lucky. I don't know. I don't even know how they pick my name. I know Shannon, but long time, 1998, we did a TV series. She worked on martial law, the Sammo Hung TV. She worked on one guest star, so we worked maybe a few days together. She don't know me, right? And like the film
Yeah.
festival is not like an action film festival. They don't know who's the action guy out there. So it's so random, like random
But
and
at the end of the
lucky.
day, I mean, you got it, and that's what matters, and that's pretty amazing.
I,
It's as if they were
yeah,
waiting for you. So,
I know
wow.
there's something, and then that's why up since that, this the whole past months, I start feel like, oh, now I feel connect with that. So try to, okay, we need to do something about Bruce Lee.
So,
I want to do the
so
movie with
what's
Bruce
next?
Lee.
So what's next?
Uh, man, idea next year. I mean, it's funny, it's not because I got a Bruce Lee award and I want to do a Bruce Lee movie,
Uh-huh,
but I
uh-huh.
have this Bruce Lee movie idea when I direct my first movie 15 years ago. No, my 16 years ago when I direct my first movie, and I thought I would keep going directing, and I went to Bruce Lee Foundation to pitching a Bruce Lee movie, the the Game of Death. I want to compete the Game of Death. I feel as the Chinese, as the filmmaker, as a martial art, I feel Bruce Lee did 4.5 movie. So the last movie, they messed up. He died, and then they make it become a comedy and stupid comedy or whatever. I feel it's like ruining his film career. The last movie, like kind of four movie, very very deep, very influence, very interesting. But then the last one is like, what the hell? So that moment, as a director, I said, oh, I want to help him. I want to compete for his idea, and I got the idea from the real writer, and then some writing friend of mine, David Tedman. He whole life writing Bruce Lee story. He know all his in and out. So he give me what's the game of that, the final prize when he win, when he come up to the top. What Bruce Lee, because he writing, he shoot, he changing, he writing and changing, he write. He no script. He would just have a hand look, and then he showed me the hand look, and wow, I touched by the hand looks what he win at the end, and I want to redo that to compete that.
So
It's just the whole
as an entire reboot or a
no.
remake, or
It's just
you want to complete that movie?
I want to complete that section. So I will
Right.
like the idea will we do the whole thing and then
This
tell
is like
what
the segment where he moves up into
the
the Lotus
the
Tower.
Bogart the tower, yeah, the
Yeah,
tower
yeah, yeah,
fight.
yeah, yeah, the
So
tower
one
fight.
bun
Yeah.
bun bun. So yeah, so this is something I want to, as a Chinese, I always want to be um finished it, kind of like to help him. So it's a dream, like long time ago. So now this connects. So now I'm recording this thing. and then I'm working on it, and I'm trying to get the right and try to do it right thing. So this is just one of the 2 projects. This is one of the projects had to be go somewhere. I will find a way to make it. Yeah, and I know the mean to be, so I had to be do something on it.
That's something I would definitely wait in line to watch.
Yeah, I think
Not just me, so many people.
I
So
know,
many
yeah,
people.
a lot of people looking for
Yeah.
something for hopefully the approaching, the idea I have as a way of idea. Yeah, it's hard to tell it now. It's still the secret, but it's mean to be. It's so crazy. This whole thing come back to me. It's so weird. I want to tell you, but it's not the right timing to tell this story yet. But this
Not
story
yet. Not yet.
is very interesting. It's crazy about this whole thing, and I believed it. It's gotta be mean something. That's why they wait 50 years to give me this.
So let's do this. Next time you come on the show, at least you gotta be in pre-production on that film.
That's right. That will be the story. I definitely can tell the whole world. But I think, yeah, as a Bruce Lee fans, I think they will dig it. I think they will.
Oh,
Everyone been waiting for it, and I think,
Definitely.
yeah, it's really cool idea, but like the spirit and the idea and the concept and the philosophy, it's amazing. That's why it made me like, wow, no, I have to do it. It's not because my philosophy. I don't have it. It's his philosophy. It's his idea, and it's so touching and so beautiful. It's
Andy,
amazing.
I really want to see this, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. I'm really waiting forward to see the Senseiya Knights of the Zodiac.
Sensei,
I'm waiting to see that as well.
it's coming.
Yeah,
Sensei is coming.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It's interesting.
Hopefully, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a big challenge, but it's good. I think, yeah, it's something. It could be really interesting. It's not like like I said, it's not like Shang-Chi, that kind of scale, but the goal is the same.
Exactly.
Same goal, and maybe not as same budget, but at the same goal. And yeah, I think, yeah, we have something. I think people will, wow, cool. It's not too bad. I'm excited
Andy,
to
thank
show
you
people.
so much. Seriously, thank you so much for taking the time to talk about all of this. I'm just gonna end the live stream here. Till then, this is Junkyard Theory, folks.
Thank you.